Thanksgiving. The table was perfect, the candles flickering softly, the polite smiles floating around the room. And then, clink, 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 my mother tapped her glass with that rehearsed smile she saved for big performances. Since we're all here, Lily's wedding turned out beautiful, didn't it? She looked at my sister the way people look at trophies polished for display. A few people laughed. Lily smiled the kind of smile that knows exactly where the spotlight lands. Then my mother turned toward me, the way you shine a flashlight into a corner to remind it that it exists. And you, Kat? When's your turn? Laughter rippled around the table. My father sliced the turkey like it was urgent medical work. Lily sat too still, too careful, eyes on her plate. I set my fork down slowly. I already had mine. The silence that followed was so dense it felt physical. 6 months ago, I added, you got the invitations. My father looked confused, like he was trying to remember something that was never there. We never got anything. I inhaled, steadying myself, reached into my bag, pulled out my phone. Then let me show you something. Cut. Growing up in my family was like being cast in a play where the lead role was already written, and it was never mine. Lily was the star from the moment she took her first step. Photos, trophies, dance recitals, an entire hallway dedicated to her achievements. I wasn't ignored so much as blurred. The frame, not the picture. Whenever I won something, science fair ribbons, and early college acceptance, my mother would smile politely and say, "We'll take a picture later, dear. I need good light for Lily's new headshot." I didn't argue. I didn't ask for more. I learned how to adapt, how to shrink myself enough to fit the background without making noise. You learn early to fit the spaces you're allowed to occupy. Seattle changed everything. Moving 3 hours north wasn't rebellion, it was oxygen. My tiny apartment with tall windows, research reports piled everywhere, mornings starting with the smell of Ethan's coffee. It was the first life I'd lived that didn't require stepping around someone else's spotlight. And Ethan? He saw me. Not the way my family saw Lily, with performance and polish, but in a quiet, genuine way. He listened. He remembered things. He paid attention in ways that made me feel like I was being witnessed, not tolerated. His family noticed me too. Not because I performed well, but because they cared. The first time his mother hugged me, she didn't release quickly the way my own mother did, like checking a box. She held on, firm, warm, present. When Ethan proposed on a foggy morning by the water, I said yes before my brain caught up to my heart. We didn't want a grand spectacle. We wanted something small, intimate, with the people who really knew us. But a part of me, quiet, stubborn, hoped my family would show up, at least this once. I designed the invitations myself, printed them early, and sent them with signature required because I knew how easily things that weren't centered around Lily tended to disappear. I triple-checked the addresses. I refreshed the tracking numbers like it was a ritual. Every package showed the same thing: delivered. I let myself breathe. And then, silence. When the date passed, when the most important day of my life ended without a single message, a call, or even a lazy congrats in the family group chat, I created stories in my head to protect myself from the truth. Maybe the mail got mixed up. Maybe they're planning something. Maybe they're waiting for the right moment. But deep down, something colder settled in. Something intentional. One night, while washing dishes, I said lightly, too lightly. They never responded, not even once. Ethan dried his hands, looked at me quietly, and asked, "Kat, did they actually see the invitations?" I wanted to say yes. Instead, I shook my head. He didn't push, just said, "Let's check the logs." With his help, something I never could have done alone, we pulled up the activity for the family email. And there it was. Opened, deleted, removed permanently. The same device, the same house. Then I pulled up the physical receipts. 4 packages, 4 signatures. The same looping handwriting each time. Lily. It felt like a clean slice, sharp, fast, final. She hadn't forgotten. She hadn't misplaced anything. She had intercepted them. On purpose. Thanksgiving approached like a storm. I almost didn't go. Almost stayed home and let them continue pretending I didn't exist. But pretending was what built this mess. So I went. The moment I stepped inside, I felt the old weight settle on my shoulders. Familiar, suffocating. Lily stood near the fireplace, posing for photos with her husband like she was on the cover of a holiday magazine. My mother narrated details of Lily's September wedding to anyone within earshot. My father poured wine with a tired expression. No one asked about my life. No one asked how I was. No one mentioned my wedding. It was as if I'd dissolved. Then came the joke. The dig wrapped in glitter. "And you, Kat, when's your turn?" Something inside me aligned. Not anger, not rage, just clarity. I already had mine. The table froze. My father's knife hovered mid-air. "We never got anything," he insisted. I placed my phone on the table, opened the first receipt, and turned it so everyone could see. There it was, Lily's signature, elegant and curved, shining under the candlelight. My mother gasped. My father leaned forward like the truth needed to be inspected closely. Lily didn't move. "These were delivered April 23rd, I said. All of them. Signed by Lily." Silence hit the table like a wave. "This must be a mistake," my father whispered. I slid to the next evidence. Tracking logs, email activity, everything confirmed, everything deliberate. "It's not a mistake," I said. "It's a choice." Lily's composure cracked. "I don't remember," she snapped. "I get a lot of mail. I don't know what you're insinuating." I didn't speak. Some truths reveal themselves better in silence. My father turned toward her, voice firmer now. "You didn't see 4 packages from your sister? Around the time you knew she was engaged?" Lily's voice broke. "Why is everything always my fault? Everyone thinks Kat is so innocent. She never ruins anything. She never takes attention from anyone. She makes everyone feel—" She stopped herself, but it was too late. "Feel what?" I asked gently. "Feel guilty," she blurted. "Feel small. Feel like she doesn't even have to try." And there it was. Not just the motive, the wound. The resentment that had shaped years of unspoken hostility. I leaned back. "So you hid my wedding because it might pull attention away from yours?" Her eyes filled, but she said nothing. Silence can be confession, too. My father whispered, "If we had known, we would have gone." I looked him straight in the eyes. After years of missing every milestone? After forgetting my birthdays? After making sure Lily always came first? My mother bristled. "You can't blame us for everything. We did our best." "You did your best for Lily," I said. "For me, you did the bare minimum and called it fairness." That landed like a stone dropped in water. Even Lily couldn't defend it. And then I said the thing I had swallowed for years. I didn't lose my family today. I just stopped pretending I had one. I stood up. As I put on my coat, I heard Lily quietly sobbing. I heard my mother whisper my name like a plea. I heard my father murmur, "We should have checked. We should have asked." But their guilt wasn't mine to carry anymore. The cold air hit me as I stepped outside, sharp and clean. Ethan was already walking toward me, like he had been listening for the sound of my footsteps. He didn't ask what happened. He just wrapped his arms around me until the shaking stopped. The next morning, his parents invited us for a simple breakfast. No pity, no performance, just warmth, just presence. His mother squeezed my hand. "Your family here," she said softly. Not because you married my son, because you matter. A week later, Lily sent a long email. Apologies, therapy, explanations. I read it. I didn't reply. My father called every few days, careful, slow. I let him try, on my terms. Months later, he found one of my wedding invitations tucked in a box in the garage. He mailed it to me quietly, without commentary. It was the closest thing to an honest apology I'd ever received. My mother never reached out. And for the first time, that absence didn't feel like a wound. It felt like an answer. I used to believe family was something you protected no matter the cost. But now I understand. Family isn't who shares your blood. It's who shows up. It's who listens. It's who stays. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away from the people who never learned how to hold you. If any part of this felt familiar, tell me where you're watching from and share your story below. And don't forget to subscribe, because in the next video, I'm going to tell you about the night I realized my absence spoke louder than my presence.